Okay, last, the case for the classics. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to read Emma's first draft and look for the corrections she needs to make. Now, remember, corrections is editing, so these are cups, capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. So let's begin. Questions. Number 10. How should sentence 5 be changed? Change explore to explored. This is present tense. This is past tense. Change were written. This is past tense. This is present. Were written. This is, messed up. This is plural. This is singular. They were written, it was written. Change years to years. Think about what's the difference between these two things. This is plural. This means more than 1 year. This means possessive or ownership. Change you to they. This is point of view. So let's look at each one. Okay, let's go to sentence 5. I'm hoping you can see this, because I want you to know how to approach each one of these. As students explore texts that were written hundreds of years before, you peer through a window into the world as it was in those days. Okay. Reading writings from long ago can be like stepping into a time machine. As students explore texts that were written hundreds of years before, you peer through a window into a world as it was in those days. Okay, so let's look. As students explore text. This is what I need to be careful about, because as students explore texts, it's like they're doing it right now. As students explore texts that were written hundreds of years before. So that's one of your options. Now, texts is plural. Texts were written. This is plural. Okay? You peer. Who is you? Who is this talking about? Has it been involving you in this passage? You is talking about students. So I need to ask myself, are they using the correct pronoun? Are they talking about me, or are they talking about the students? As students explore texts that were written hundreds of years before, you peer through a window into the world in those days, or they peer through a window. Okay? This is the one you're going to have to make your selection. Now, the other thing was change years to years. Now I'm going to go find years, and I'm going to underline the word that comes after it. Okay? There it is. Now, are the years owning before, or is it just more than 1 year? Okay? Hundreds of years. Is this more than one, or are they owning before? If it's more than one, then it should stay years. If it's owning the word before, does before belong to years? Then I need this one. Okay? Make your selection. All right. Now, number 11 says, what change should be made in sentence 9? So we're going to insert a comma after past. Let's go to sentence 9. Being able to hear those voices from the past is a privilege. This is punctuation. Change is to are. This is singular. And this is plural. He is, we are. Change privilege with an A to privilege with an E. This is where I find my answer in the dictionary. And grateful, I can also find in the dictionary. So let's look. Insert a comma after past. Make sure you can see it. Being able to hear those voices from the past, comma, is a privilege. Do I need there? Being able to hear voices from the past is a privilege to young people. Should be grateful to have. Okay. Now the next one is to are. Being able to hear those voices from the past is a privilege. Okay. Being able to hear is a privilege. Okay? Or should I say, being able to hear those voices from the past are a privilege. Now the next one I need to check in my dictionary. If privilege, how do I spell privilege and how do I spell grateful? Okay? Do not think you know the answer without looking something up in the dictionary, because that is like a free question. Okay, next. Let's go to number 12. What is the correct way to write sentence 11? Okay. So let's highlight sentence 11. It says, most teens are absorbed with their own daily activities. They rarely think about the fact that human civilization has been around for a long time. Some things to look for. Those comma pronouns. So let's see if we have any of those. Okay, most teens are absorbed with their own daily activities. Let's find where these start getting different. Most teens are absorbed with their own daily activities. Most teens are absorbed with their own daily activities. Okay, so here's the part that we're looking at. Rarely thinking about the fact that human civilization has been around for a long time. This is a fragment. Rarely thinking about the fact that human civilization has been around for a long time. And rarely think about human civilization, period, which has been around for a long time. Period, which is not correct unless it has a question mark at the end. Okay? Most teens are absorbed with their own daily activities and rarely think about this fact. Human civilization has been around for a long time. This is the problem. Okay? This is a comma. Civilization has been around for a long time is an IC. This is an IC. Most teens are absorbed with their own daily activities and rarely think about the fact that human civilization has been around for a long time. Now I want you to make your selection. Okay, the last one. How should sentence 23 be changed? So let's go to sentence 23. According to Philip Davis, one of the English professors involved in the study, serious literature acts like rocket boosters to the brain. Okay. Now, this one is going to be spelling, and I'm going to use a dictionary. Insert a comma after Davis. Well, let's look and see if we would need one. According to Philip Davis, one of the English professors involved in the study, serious literature acts like a rocket booster to the brain. This, to me, sounds like an interrupter. According to Philip Davis, this is giving me more information about Philip Davis. Okay? I could say, according to Philip Davis, serious literature acts like a rocket booster. If I can take this out and the sentence still makes sense, it's an interrupter and needs to be surrounded by commas. Okay, so I'm going to write interrupter. Change serious to serious. Please write this rule, okay? The first word of a quotation should be capitalized. unless it is a continued sentence. Now that means like this. She said dogs are great pets. Okay, you see dogs is capitalized. It's the first word of the quotation. Now look at this. Dogs, she said, are great pets. So, do you see how I didn't capitalize are? Because it's this continuation of the same sentence. Dogs are great pets. So I don't capitalize the word if my sentence is being continued. Okay? And then you have D. Sentence 23 should not be changed. So now what I want you to do is to finish the last questions and go ahead and submit your form for your retest grade.